Right, so this is a book. Just haven't read it, but we can talk about it lots. We can talk about each of the pages, and it's called I Spy Fairy Tales.
I Spy Fairy Tales.
Do you know what fairy tales are?
The tales what people think are real, but then they're not.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're very old stories. Like, who do you think this one might be?
Goldie.
The
Red
Riding Hood. Have you
Red
ever heard of
Riding
it?
Hood.
Yeah.
And the witch.
No. So that was Red Riding Hood. Okay, let's see what we can spy. So we're going to have a look at this page first. So, can you spy the girl taking the pink jumper out of her bag?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you spy a rock on the floor? Well done. Can you spy Hansel and Gretel? And because it's Hansel and Gretel, that's made me realise that that's not a rock, in fact, it's a breadcrumb. Because in Hansel and Gretel, do you know that story? Yeah, they drop breadcrumbs, don't they? So, can you see them? Can you see the witch? Can you see the gingerbread house? And can you see a robin?
That one.
Okay, right, we're going to have a look for some things that are the same or similar in this book. So can you find two things that you think look very similar or almost the same?
Them two and them two. And all the trees.
The trees are very similar, aren't they? What about these two bushes? Do you think they're very similar? Yeah, well done. What kind of, what time of year do you think it would be? Look at what they're wearing. They've all got shorts or short skirts on. What time of year do you think it would be?
The summer.
The summer, yeah, I think so as well, because they are wearing shorts and t-shirts, aren't they? Okay, who do you think this is up here?
A bear.
I think it's a bear, or could it be, because this looks a bit like Red Riding Hood, could it be a
wolf?
Yeah, I think so as well. Oh, and also, just there, that's part of the Red Riding Hood story, isn't it? Who has this axe? Do you know? There's a man in the woods, and he's called a woodcutter. Have you heard about him? Yeah.
He's a woodcutter who chops
down the
now.
trees, doesn't he? So
I've
there
game
you go.
with that.
Okay. Right, we're going to pick another page to have a look at and talk about.
This looks very similar.
This one looks quite nice though, because they've all got fairy tales in them, different fairy tales in each one, haven't they? So this one is quite similar because I can see here.
I think they like each other.
They do, don't they? Well, there's 1, 2, 3 bears. So which story could that be from? Which fairy tale?
The bears go. It's when the Goldilocks steals the
There we go.
bears.
Yeah.
Porridge.
Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Can you see those spoons there? What might they eat with that?
The porridge.
The porridge, yes. So can you spy Goldilocks then? Cheers. You spy the spoons, we've already done that. Can you spy Baby Bear? And Mummy and Daddy Bear. Can you spy their house? Can you spy this little girl? Now, this little girl, I think, is from a different story. So, what's down here?
A bag.
It looks like a bag, is it? It's a little shoe, I think. And it's not just any shoe, it's a glass slipper. Do you know?
A slipper.
Do you know a story that's got a glass slipper in it? So Cinderella has a glass slipper. So it could be that this could be Cinderella. I don't know. So let's look for some matching items again, shall we? So can you spy some animals that look the same? Yeah. So these animals that are together in twos, do you know a different word for twos? They're in pairs. Yeah, like shoes, aren't they? How many trees can you see? How many tree trunks can you count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Brilliant. Okay, and can you see 2 red flowers?
2 red flowers.
So who do you think might live in this house?
Bears.
Do you think the bears live in this house? And what What other things do you think they might have inside their house? They've got their porridge spoons, haven't they?
Porridge. I think they might beds, chairs. Would they have microwaves?
They might have a microwave, you never know. How would they make their porridge hot?
Ooh, they could burn it in the sun.
They could put it in the sun. It would take a long time to get hot. They could do it on the stove, couldn't they? In a pan. Brilliant. Okay. Pick one more page to have a look. Ooh, lots of people in this one. Okay. So, can you see that? Do you know what that is?
The jacket.
It is a red cloak, isn't it? So, can you think who that could be? Do you know any fairy stories that could be?
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood.
What about some breadcrumbs? Can you spot any breadcrumbs?
3 row. They're hiding.
Ah, now I think this is trying to trick us. Can you spot the characters who were dropping the breadcrumbs? Hansel and Gretel, well done. Can you spot the character who had the glass slipper and Prince Charming? Yes, well done. Can you spot the characters who had the spoons?
Further on the floor.
What are they? Can you remember what they're
Bears.
called? 3 bears. Can you spot the character that had, I think this is supposed to be a pumpkin. Sure.
Pumpkin's there.
Yeah. And what did the pumpkin turn into in Cinderella? Do you know? Turned into the carriage, look.
Oh, yeah.
I might be wrong. Oh, let's see. So, what animals can you see here?
A cat. A cow. Bears. A wolf. The frogs. The mice. The cats. That's only
Let's see. What's special about this frog?
Frog. It's King Frog.
King Frog, or he could be a frog prince, couldn't he?
Prince Frog.
Okay. Ooh, you said you knew the story of Hansel and Gretel. So this witch has got a candy cane in her hand. So what do you think she's trying to do to Hansel and Gretel?
She's trying to poison them.
Do you think? Or she could be trying to fatten them up. You're not remembering the story. She tries to fatten them up so that they taste better. Right, okay. Last thing then.
Babs and Seth still wished because there's apples in there and there's a red one. It's like a poison apple.
Ah, that's in Snow White, isn't it? Yeah, with the 7
And
dwarfs.
there's a game of them.
Can you see any dwarves here?
Or dwarves.
There's no dwarves. So I don't think we've got Snow White in this picture. Okay. Last one. So this is a little boy called Jack.
Hi, Jack.
This is his cow.
And he's selling it.
Yeah. And what does he sell it? And what does he get in exchange for his cow?
Some magic beans and then it grows.
You know lots about fairy stories, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And last question. How many trees can you see?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Fabulous.
Oh.
This was a good book, wasn't it? Because it had lots of stories that we know already. So I like that. I like to see I like to see the pictures from all the different fairy stories and see what we could find. Well done. Okay, thank you very much.